I can speak for myself. Constellation ship, you weren't invited to this meeting, but much of our conversation has been about you. It's only fitting you should join us. I will personally guarantee your safety as long as you come in peace.
And think of it as a ceasefire meeting. Your one shot at getting those answers you must desperately want. Good. See? We can all get along. For now. Hello. Again. You remember the emissary, perhaps? And their ship, the Helix? I believe they ambushed you above Neon and demanded that artifact you worked so hard to gain.
Thank you for the stellar introduction. Your success is unprecedented. Before you came, we were just discussing how continued use of force against you is unwise. Yes, we did. We are not a monolithic people. The Starborn are individuals. Some are united in cause. Others are in it for themselves.
We're all in it for ourselves. Some of us are just more honest. The emissary threatened your ship, demanded you hand over your artifact. How is that so different from what I did?
We needed to warn you off. Every encounter with one of our kind could spell disaster.
For whom, exactly? I say whoever can collect them should. Yes. Let's talk about what really matters.
The Unity. You are on the path to it. It is a place, a gateway. It is where we were reborn.
You've really come a long way since the Welcome to Constellation speech, haven't you? I'm not who you think I am. This universe is only the first one you've been to. I've seen hundreds. Where I came from, I was the one who stayed at the lodge to protect the artifacts. You died on board the Eye while we held off the Hunter.
One of me, at least.
I collected the remaining artifacts, and they opened the way to the center of my universe, and the doorway to an infinite number of others. That is the Unity. When I stepped into it, I became a Starborn. It's how I've entered other worlds, including yours. I have to. This is bigger than all of us. All the artifacts are needed to complete the armillary and open the way to the Unity. In every universe, the Starborn fight over them. Innocent people die. You've witnessed the power granted by the temples, the anarchy that can be unleashed. Someone has to decide who should get them.
Here it comes. The emissary tells you only the worthy should enter heaven.
You're twisting what I mean.
They're hypocrites. They use the chaos caused by the hunt for the artifacts to establish an order where they decide who's worthy. I attacked your lodge because I wanted the artifacts, and you held me off. You got away. That wasn't some morality play. You didn't survive because of righteousness. You won because of persistence, luck, and skill. As I have done countless times.
I was also human once. But what does it matter who or what I was when eternity is within your grasp? It means I've seen thousands of universes, collected their artifacts, been to their temples. You have a small taste of their power, but it keeps going. You're learning. My other self wants you to walk the path he walks, to give up, to appreciate the universe you have. Easy for a person who's seen everything, done everything. I think you should see it for yourself.
You've never come this far. Not in all the universes I've seen. The path to the Unity is opening to you.
You're going to tip the scales one way or another. Better your hand be on one of our sides.
You're already in it. With artifacts, come Starborn searching for them, fighting over them. I want a truce between all three of us. Give you some time to think over which approach to the Unity is the one you want. Mine, or the Hunters.
Yes. Let's see how willing you are to live under someone else's rules. Just remember, one of us isn't trying to judge you. The Unity is meant for whomever can get there.
I'll tell you everything
Don't
I
fall
can.
for that talk of worthiness.
Different. I never know who you are when I meet a new version, but so much of you stays the same. It's hard. But each universe is precious in its own way. Mine will never have its original you in it again, as yours won't have its real me. You've seen the terror the Hunter causes. Every time a Starborn goes through the Unity, they get more artifacts, find more temples, gain more power. We can't let more like him abuse these gifts to destroy whatever's in their way. It's not an easy experience to describe, but the Unity will speak to you, offer you the chance to become Starborn. You will be leaving this universe behind to be reborn. Everything you were before will be gone. Maybe that's why it offers the choice. Compassion? Or is it testing us? When all the artifacts are assembled, the device they create is called the Armillary. In many ways, it's a model of the multiverse itself. Through it, you can reach the Unity. And from there, you can become Starborn.
emissary and whoever created the artifacts and built those temples is playing a game with us. One whose prize is access to the center of all creation. There are no rules. Whoever gets all the pieces wins. And I've won. Over and over. I don't kill for the Unity. I find the easiest pathway to it. I've simply found that it's the quickest way. Talking, forming alliances, waiting for the right moment to commit theft. It's all so tiresome. I'll admit, you getting away has been the most interesting thing to happen in quite some time. As soon as I realized what had happened, I knew I needed to wait until this meeting with the emissary to decide what to do about you. To see what would happen, of course. You might not understand just how many times I've done this. Usually, you're the one who ends up dead, and whoever cries over your body goes on to become the emissary. Sometimes I manage to get you all bunched up and take care of the problem in one go. Sometimes the emissary has gotten to me first, and I never arrive. Hundreds and hundreds of variations of me, hacking through Constellation. And it's almost never you. You making it to your ship on your own. That's new. I took it as a sign. I don't get many of those anymore. They enter the Unity, take artifacts from others, employ force. All the things I do. I am many things, but I would never tell anyone what to do with their gifts. That is your decision, not someone else's. The emissary wants to become the judge of who gets to enter, but the Unity itself doesn't judge. No, we always end up having this meeting at this time. But it's the usual affair. Can we make peace? No. Oh, how tragic. Honestly, I was beginning to wonder why I kept tending. That it's bad habit I started a long time ago. Perhaps I just like meeting the emissary to gloat. But you have provided something quite new to talk about. Maybe you're a random die roll. Or maybe the Unity is finally responding to all my hard work.
Before you leave, I want to give you something. A way to another artifact, but also a lesson in how dangerous they can be. Seek the moon of Old Earth. There are secrets there you must discover for yourself. Here, to open the way. Yes, I will say no more. I do not always know if you are a person I should be helping. I have also found that advice is a poor substitute for experience. You should also talk to your colleagues in Constellation. I am sure they have gathered more information on the remaining artifacts in the fringes of space. Part of me wonders what they will all say about what you have learned. But I will leave that to you.
You gotta drop some of that. How much Walter pays in property tax on this baby?
Hey, I've been talking with the others, and I'd like to get everyone together. To say goodbye. You know. To Sarah. Thank you. I'll have everything set up in a few days.
Mateo told us about your pilgrim's voyage.
You found it, didn't you? The meaning of unity. Wait, say that again? Multiple universes?
You can't possibly mean what I think you mean.
Hate to be the responsible one, but the big bombshell of what we're actually building here might need another second to sink in. Want to go over this whole multiple universe thing for everyone?
Yes, I wouldn't mind a little more detail.
Explains why the Starborn want the artifact so bad. Get them all, and you've got a gateway to infinity.
I don't even want to think about the physiological changes you'd need to travel between universes.
Plus what it would do to the mind? Enlightenment? Or oblivion? Like the Hunter.
You have the opportunity to reach the closest thing to your god that might exist.
And you're second guessing it?
One doesn't approach the afterlife without some trepidation. You're right. This is a lot to take in.
Guess a little time to get our heads straight wouldn't hurt. But you know where I'll want to be when everyone's ready. Front and center.
Not to make a sharp turn in a grand tale, but I got the eye fixed up. Bruised, but still blinking. Let me know when you're ready to follow up on what it's seen. These last glimpses from the eye are from the farthest fringes of known space. Could be the only remaining pieces outside the hands of the Starborn. Catch a smile out there.
You forget how much you take a place like the Lodge for granted. Until it's threatened.
There's that empty feeling.
If you want to... What's up?
We'll get through this. Those Starborn.
I thought maybe I would come up with something to say, but I've got nothing. So, instead, I thought I would quote something that gave me comfort a long time ago. Is God real? The more proper question would be, is reality divine? Existence itself is a mystery which yearns to be uncovered. What is goodness but a comparison to the good? What is existence but a participation in being? For where the diversity of the universe inspires awe and wonder, it exists only in contrast to a simplicity so pure that it may only be understood as primordial and even define. Our essence is what was imagined by its mind. But what we consider imagining and what we consider mind are in fact so far beyond our understanding that even these metaphors are like the tiny whitecaps on a massive surging sea. There's more, but those are the parts that speak to me the most. Thank you.
That was really thoughtful, Mateo. Thank you. Does anyone else want to say anything? Thank you. If anyone else wants to say something.
Everyone is in mourning. I understand, but I cannot quite share in their emotion.
I don't often speak about...
I have seen death. I have lost people I considered close. But this is...
one of those occasions.
It is not the same. I cannot explain why. I am not sure I am making sense. Thank you.
No afterlife. Or second meetings. No God in heaven that is
If you are
curating
free
a perfect
soon,
ending for me.
could we talk?
So it's up to us. We are what lives on. If the pain of loss inspires us to greater action, then that is the good that comes from it.
I am sorry. My head is
Humanity
swimming.
is what truly creates our world. We are the ones that judge things to be good or evil, joyful or mournful. Let us take responsibility for it. Let us remember what we have lost.
Walter, are you part of the House of Enlightenment? I never knew that.
Yes, well, I like to keep some things private.
Oh, hi. I've lost everything. Again. It's just that I feel so alone. With Sarah, it was like starting a family again. The way she'd smile, now she's gone. It's not the same. Sarah was starting to feel... I really don't want to go through this again. I can't... Really? Hey, thanks for talking to me. I'm actually feeling a little better knowing maybe I'm not so... You go do what you have to do. I'll be okay.
Not because it's evil, but because it's infinite, ever expanding. And who wouldn't want to be a part of infinity? Even if it's just for a short while. Listen, we don't worry about ourselves before we were born, do we? Of course not. We emerge from the universe as we return to it. And for one beautiful moment, we are here, together.
Yes, that certainly was an interesting perspective, Barrett.
Yes, I remember you. The wedding. I was so happy for both of you. I wish the circumstances of my visit were better. Unfortunately, this isn't the first Constellation funeral I've been to. After 35 years, you say goodbye to a lot of friends. I hope you don't mind me saying, but I feel numb just thinking about it. Sarah meant the world to me. She was the future. I knew it as soon as I met her. Exactly the same as when you met her, I bet. Determined. Fearless. With just a small hint of delight on her face when she knew she was winning, eh? My only problem as a mentor was trying to convince her to be more tactful. Those old military instincts would always get her in trouble. Take your time. Oh, yes. I was Sebastian Banks's protege. If that gives you any idea of how long I was part of our little club. Knew him, argued with him, tried to carry on his memory when he vanished. Sebastian will be back tomorrow, we always used to say. It reminded us that he was still here, in the bones of this old building. Yes. She could make me so angry, or so happy. We used to joke that we were married. I bet relationships in Constellation are still messy, aren't they? We're more of a family than an organization. All the former lines bleed together. It makes the losses sting harder. But I hope it means the time you had together was all the more important. That's how I like to think of it anyway.
It almost feels wrong to be grieving. Selfish. It's just easier if you'll excuse me.
You know, what never seems to work for me. Well, look at us. You know, if there's one piece of advice I can actually give you, it's that lost loved ones have a way of coming back to you. One day you'll be sweeping out some old shelf or digging through a desk, and theoretically, You're welcome.
Chat for a bit? Normally, I hate talking.
Hey, Captain.
You don't believe in the afterlife, do you? I mean, this might be the worst time to bring it up, but... Yes. Won't we all? Well, I've taken up enough of your time.
We're all that lives on when someone dies. It's up to us to decide.
I hope this is all okay. Between fixing things up and sending it. Good. Sorry, if I talk any longer, I'm gonna start crying.
I am told these types of gatherings are a sad occasion. That assumption appears to be correct. I appreciate you verifying my analysis. If you would like, though, I can add some. Very well.
Hi. So many people here. So many people saying goodbye. Is this... It's just... It doesn't change anything, does it? Every day is going to be worse now. Don't you get that? I want to be alone for a while, okay?
This is harder than I expected. I am reminded of how different Constellation was.
Is it quieter in the lot?
To what I'm used to.
Death is a bastard. Comes for us all. You know, there's an old Aquila story about two pioneers who got lost trying to find a new frontier to settle. One of them takes ill. Clear he's not gonna make it, he turns to his partner and says, "Don't bury me. Let the ground take what it's due. I'd rather be a ghost chasing after you than walk through the pearly gates knowing an eternity of loneliness until you get there." Sad story, huh? You look after yourself.
Drink?
When you get a moment, can we talk?
Pour one out to the blackest sea? Two old friends. May their ghosts go past the edges of space, to the great beyond. I...
This is harder than I expected.
This is the Unity. No kidding. Think of the dissertations. Boundless topics, no bounds. Except the books. This explains so much, though. They're disorganized, petty, weird, and also deeply fascinating at the same time. Because they are just people. We never rule that out, but it feels so good to know we weren't fighting against robot aliens. We should feel cheated. They hoarded this and used it against people in their quest for power. But it all comes back to this. We don't know what will happen if you enter the Unity. You might lose yourself or become a two-headed space shark. There are too many variables. That's a valid concern. But at the same time, none of us would be here if we weren't willing to take those risks. Of course, at the end of the day, it's your choice. But I will say this. Our entire purpose in Constellation is to explore. Why would we stop now? Obviously. If you were ready, it's a huge decision. It's not like dying your head. This is serious. Anytime. You're guiding... on that, it's not on the scale of entering the Unity. Thanks. This has been swirling in my brain goo for a while now. So, I've been pondering over what's happened and what it all means. And I've got a favor to ask. A teensy-weensy favor. I think it's time I joined you in the physics-bending powers business. See if one of those temples work. Marvelous. I'm glad you're as it so happens, I've already talked to Vladimir. Seems our eye in the sky is back up and running. He sent me the coordinates for the...
Forgot
since
to
I got
check the
here,
math on a
this
few
is not my
equations. The
These people are
brain's
family.
long con.
I hope it feels that way for you too.
Forgetfulness.
Captain, sir, I am fully updated and ready to assist with tasks.
At this point, I don't care what you have to do to get that project back on track. Within reason.
I hope Cora doesn't get too much underfoot. So we know the answer. Well, we are. We're some cracked mirror version of ourselves. The whole thing seems unreal. Yeah. Who's keeping track? You know, yeah. I was hoping the Starborn were somehow so advanced that their concerns were cosmic, significant. Instead, they're fighting over goddamn toys like we've been doing since caveman times. It's just a stupid game to them. And all our deaths and suffering, not relevant. And they seem to be just as messed up as the rest of us. So the Unity is a gateway, and you have a chance to go through it. I'd be lying if it doesn't sound like the adventure of a lifetime. I don't know if you're taking anyone with you, but if you take me, I got no idea if I'd go through or not. If it weren't for Cora, I'd jump on it in a heartbeat. Cora would probably shove both of us out of the way and dive in first. Born explorer, that girl. A decision like that? I know it's your decision who to work with. Sure, the emissary may be a version of Sarah. So Sarah, but that doesn't make what the Hunter did right. Not by a long... If the Starborn are party crashers from different universes, I'd side with the one that's not willing to murder innocents to win. Me neither. My head is still spinning. Maybe after... Take care.
We've always considered ourselves explorers, But this really is uncharted territory, isn't it? Stay safe, okay?